Have you ever felt like no matter how much you have, it's never enough? Like you're always chasing the next big thing, blind to the treasures right in front of you. Today, I'm sharing a simple story about a man named Tom, who learned the hard way that true happiness comes from gratitude. Stick around, because by the end, you might just see your own life in a whole new light. Let me take you back to a quiet little town called Willow Creek. Tom was your average guy in his mid-30s. He had a steady job at the local hardware store, stocking shelves and helping customers find the right tools for their projects. It wasn't glamorous, but it paid the bills. Tom lived in a cozy 2-bedroom house with his wife, Sarah, and their 2 kids, a bubbly 7-year-old daughter named Lily and a curious 5-year-old son. Maximum. Sarah worked part-time as a teacher, and together, they made ends meet. Weekends were filled with backyard barbecues, family movie nights, and walks in the park. Sounds pretty good, right? But Tom didn't see it that way. Oh no. He was always looking over the fence at what others had. His neighbor, Mike, drove a shiny new truck and took fancy vacations every year. His old college buddy, Jake, posted pictures on social media of his big city apartment and high-paying tech job. Tom would scroll through those posts late at night, feeling a knot in his stomach. Why can't I have that? He'd mutter to himself. I deserve more than this dead-end job and this tiny house. He started working extra hours, skipping family dinners to chase promotions that never came. Sarah would plead with him. Tom, we're happy here. The kids need you, not more stuff. But he'd brush it off, saying, just wait, Sarah. Once I get that raise, everything will be better. Little by little, Tom's dissatisfaction grew like a weed in his heart. He stopped noticing the small joys, the way Lily's eyes lit up when he read her bedtime stories, or how Max giggled during their silly tickle fights. Instead, he complained about everything. The house was too cramped. The car was too old. Even the meals Sarah cooked with love tasted bland to him. He dreamed of a bigger life, one with luxury and status. If only I had more, he'd think, then I'd be truly happy. Then, one crisp autumn morning, everything changed. Tom arrived at work to find the store owner, Mr. Jenkins, waiting with a heavy look on his face. Tom, I'm sorry, he said, his voice low. The economy's tough. We're closing the store next month. I have to let you go. Just like that, Tom's world cracked. No job meant no steady paycheck. Bills piled up fast, the mortgage, the kids' school supplies, groceries. Sarah picked up extra hours at her job, but it wasn't enough. They dipped into their small savings, but that dried up quicker than a summer puddle. At first, Tom was angry. He blamed everyone. The boss, the economy, even himself for not pushing harder sooner. He spent days on the couch, staring at the TV, feeling like a failure. How did this happen to me? He'd whisper in the dark. The kids noticed. Lily stopped asking for stories, sensing her dad's mood. Max clung to Sarah more, confused by the tension in the air. Sarah tried to stay strong, but Tom could see the worry in her eyes, the same eyes that used to sparkle with laughter. Nights were the worst. Tom would lie awake, his mind racing. What if they lost the house? What if the kids went hungry? The fear gripped him like a vice. He applied for jobs everywhere, grocery stores, factories, even driving gigs, but rejections came one after another. Not enough experience, they'd say, or position filled. Each no felt like a punch to the gut. He started snapping at Sarah over little things, like a spilled cup of coffee or a toy left on the floor. Their home, once filled with warmth, now echoed with silence and strain. One evening, after another fruitless job hunt, Tom stormed out for a walk. He ended up at the old park where he used to push the kids on the swings. Sitting on a bench, he watched families laughing together, dads chasing toddlers, moms sharing picnics. A wave of regret hit him hard. What have I done? He thought. Tears stung his eyes as memories flooded back, Lily's first steps in that very park, Max's chubby hands reaching for his. He realized he'd been so busy chasing more that he'd forgotten to cherish what he had. Right then, an old man on the next bench noticed him. Rough day? The man asked gently. Tom poured it all out, the job loss, the regrets, the fear. The old man listened quietly, then shared his own story. I was like you once, he said. Always wanting bigger, better. Lost my family in the process. But I learned something. Gratitude isn't about having everything. It's about loving what you do have. Start small, thank the sun for rising, your heart for beating. It changes everything. Tom nodded, wiping his face. For the first time in months, a spark of hope flickered inside him. That night, Tom went home with a new resolve. He hugged Sarah tightly, whispering, "I'm sorry. I've been blind to how lucky I am." They sat the kids down and talked openly. No more pretending everything was fine. Instead, they started a simple ritual. At dinner, each person shared one thing they were grateful for. Lily said, "I'm grateful for Mommy's hugs." Max chimed in, "For my toy truck." Sarah smiled and added, "For our family sticking together." Tom went last, "For all of you. You're my everything." Slowly, things shifted. Tom kept job hunting, but now with a grateful heart. He volunteered at the community center, fixing things for free, and discovered a joy in helping others. He spent more time with the kids, building forts in the living room, baking cookies with Sarah. The house felt warmer, even if the bank account didn't. And you know what? Opportunities started appearing. A friend heard about Tom's skills and offered him a part-time gig at a repair shop. It wasn't much, but it was a start. With gratitude guiding him, Tom saw abundance everywhere. The roof over their heads, the food on the table, the love in their home. Months later, as Tom landed a better job, he looked back and realized the real turning point wasn't the new paycheck. It was that moment on the park bench, choosing gratitude over greed. His family grew closer, happier than ever. They still faced ups and downs, but now they faced them together, appreciating every little blessing. So, what's the big lesson here? The power of gratitude isn't some magic trick, it's a choice. In a world that screams more, 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 stop and look around. What do you have right now that's worth cherishing? A warm bed. A friend's call. Your health. Enjoy what you have, because gratitude turns ordinary moments into extraordinary gifts. It doesn't mean you stop dreaming big, it means you find joy in the journey, not just the destination. Think about it. When was the last time you paused to say thank you for the simple things? Try it today. It might just change your life, like it did for Tom. If this story touched you, hit that like button, subscribe for more tales that inspire, and share in the comments what you're grateful for right now. Until next time, remember, what you appreciate, appreciates. Take care.